Good morning, blessings, great people. Happy Wednesday. You were blessed with another 24 hours to make a better decision, to make it right. You were given another chance to create your destiny, to walk in purpose. I'm doing a few things in the kitchen as I do this live, so I hope that the background does not interfere with my message. I am wearing a headphone device. So everything should be okay. But once again, happy Wednesday. Good morning, blessings. I like to come on in the morning and speak a little bit and give some inspiration to my audience. And the best time for me to come on is usually about 8. I seem to notice there's not very many people on here when I come on after 8, which is fine. Um, Whether I have a large audience or not, I am building. And I would still like people to know that I am online and I'm live. So I'm going to continue this live. And for those who are not online right now, can actually come back and stream this live. So I like to speak about things that I have experienced and also, as well, be able to give advice all in one. Have you ever seemed to notice that when you are starting something new or walking into a new chapter in your life, people who are currently in your life, um, and these people are not aligned with your blessing or they're not aligned with your purpose, rather, they will become very quiet. You will seem to notice that these people will, become crickets. There will be crickets, it will be quiet. And I'm seeming to notice that right now. I am walking in my purpose. This is a new chapter in my life. It's not that I haven't known my purpose. I always have. I'm still working for the same goal. I've been working to achieve certain goals for some being um, a lengthy length of time. And I have had to learn how to acclimate my purpose and my life. And I went through a lot of last year learning to discipline myself and being able to achieve consistency in my life, which is not easy. It's not easy to be consistent and it's not easy to become disciplined. It is a process, but it is something that can be done because the while we are learning to become disciplined, we are having to unlearn old habits. I'm not going to say bad habits, but unlearn old habits. So if one of your goals is to lose weight, eat better, work on your health, then you're going to have to unlearn unhealthy eating habits. You're going to have to unlearn the way that you've done it before and learn the better way to do it. So, a lot of times it's not easy to unlearn old habits. So, that's something that you have to do. So, anywho, that was what I spent a greater part of last year doing. For instance, I have always been very slim. I'm still slim, but I have gained a little weight that it makes me look not so perfect. And I know no one can achieve the perfect body because you're always going to find something about yourself that you feel like you need improvement in. And so this was one of the things that I wanted to become more disciplined with last year, and that was the way that I eat, um, me snacking, me having the discipline that I needed in order to work out and to achieve the perfect body that I thought that I always had. I mean, because to me it was perfect, but just understand none of us are perfect. So, anywho, I did good for a while. I stopped eating meat and I became a pescatarian. And then slowly, as this year began to come in, I started back eating meat. Slowly, the next thing you know, I was snacking again. I was eating chips and just all kinds of stuff, And so it's not hard to actually slide back into old habits. In March, I lost my mom. She left us on March the 8th. I want to say March the 6th because she was found in her home March the 6th. But we learned she was found in her home March the 8th. But we learned by medical professionals that mom actually left. She left us on the 6th. So, anywho, that was a difficult transition. So, in the beginning, I actually stopped eating. And then after that, I found myself eating again and eating wrong. And so I said, well, I lost my mom. So I'm just, anything that I could use, not as an excuse, but as like a crutch to go ahead and practice some of my unhealthy eating habits. So I started back eating fast food. I was ordering fast food, burgers, and different things that I hadn't even been really eating red meat. I had really just, been with fish, veggies, and chicken. So it was easy after me losing my mother for me to get back to some of my old habits. And so recently she had a birthday, which was in May, and I wanted to visit her gravesite. And so I did that and I stayed out of town for about a month in my hometown. And I did everything to eat wrong the entire time that I was there. Can you go get this quiet? I'm on the live, and I had told you that before you came down here. The door is locked. I gotta excuse me. Sorry, but this is a busy house, and my children are here. So, anywho, I decided to just eat whatever I wanted to eat and not really take responsibility for that the whole month that I was out of town. Now that I am back, I have a lot of inflammation in my stomach, which you will get that from eating processed foods and different things that you're not supposed to eat. So I did have a show yesterday. We did a pre-recording of the Diamond Perry show, and that is a long-standing talk show that I have had since 2011. For anyone that's not familiar with that show, anyone that is, that show is in audio form as well as um, video form on any podcasting site, anywhere you look on the internet, it's there. It's over maybe 30 or 40 digital platforms because it is overseas. But I do have a live video version, and we did start recording that yesterday. So, anywho, one of my main concerns was that I had the bloatation going in my stomach, and I went back and reviewed it, and I was like, oh my God. So, for a lady, for a woman, we want to look perfect. We want, we just want everything to be right. And so that has been on my mind since after doing the show. And I have to do something about that. So that's like a big deal, and a pet peeve of mine. And it's my advice to anybody. If you want to change something, just, because sometimes we talk about things that we want to do, but we take so long to do them. We think about it, we talk about it. It is the spirit of procrastination, and that's something that is not good, you know. So, hey, if you want to lose weight, you want to slim down, because I'm not a very big woman, but it's definitely the inflammation. Um, for any ladies that listen to this, that come back and listen to this live, it is so important that we pay attention to the way we eat. I mean, I knew that I wasn't supposed to be eating that food and all this stuff. And then once you get off track, it's so, I don't want to say difficult, but then you have to discipline yourself again to eat correctly, and it's just so many things. It's so many foods that, cause inflammation. Not only that, cause disease, cause cancer and different things like that. So we have to really be careful the way that we eat, especially once you are in your 30s and 40s. You have to really pay attention to those things, the way that you eat. But really getting back on the subject at hand that I was speaking about, and the way that people change up on you, or the way that they get quiet when you start doing different things. And when I say that, I just mean achieving. People can see the growth in you. They can see the change. And when God is preparing you for a chapter in your life, He will begin to not only eliminate people, but He will He will begin to change you, and you'll have a certain like glow to yourself. There will be things that are different about you, and a person can actually just be around you and can just notice the glow that's on you, and they can notice the change, and they don't like that. People actually do not like to see you change for the better. They don't like that. So all the while that you think that you're doing good, um, you're doing something that's inspirational, you're thinking maybe, I can inspire other people, to do it this way or that way. In actuality, you're making some people mad. You're making some people mad because you're doing something that they're not doing. Even you can, and I'm speaking on this because I've had this experience. Okay, I'm kind of out of breath. I just ran down a flight of steps. I went up and then back down again. But you get it. I am healthy. I'm not a cigarette smoker or anything like that. But you could be dating someone, and yes, I've had this experience, that is jealous of you. And when I say jealous, I don't mean in a money sense. I don't mean in a money sense. I don't mean income wise. I just mean by the anointness that God has over your life. Whatever it is that He has you doing, they don't like that. They don't like it. They can't stand it. People think that you're leaving them, or, oh, he or she is going to get famous and they're not going to be attentive to me anymore. When in actuality, that's not true. That is like a blessing for you and your significant other. But, and I'm speaking in this sense in the Black community. Um, I don't know what it is like to be white, so I can only speak for my community, and I can only speak for my experience. But I think it's Black people, and I think it's within our community, because we already don't support each other. If we don't support each other individually, in our communities and in the world, period, what makes you think that you're going to be supported within your own relationship or at home? Sometimes yes, but sometimes no. So sometimes it's not just other people, it's actually your partner. It can be actually your partner. The person that you're dating could be the main one that is not supporting you. And I have definitely had that experience, to the fact of where when I started doing certain things that I said that I would do, things that were on my goal list, once I started to accomplish those things, the person whom I was dating became very quiet. Okay, there were crickets. And I'm like, wow, he didn't say congratulations, or not that I need a pat on the back, because I don't, but I'm just saying support, you know. But then what gets me is these same people, they will go listen to um any celebrity's music, any mainstream artist's music. Um and I'm really not performing in like recording projects, so it has nothing to do with my music or anything. Everyone knows I'm transitioning into a TV producer, but I am a composer as well. So, but I just mean, period, my career right now, I have a long-standing podcast, the Diamond Perry Show that I was just speaking about, and I do have a big reality project that I am working on right now, and we're going to start the filming for that at the end of 2026. I really can't give a specific date for that right now, but anywho, I don't seek validation and I don't seek confirmation from anyone with something that God gave me to do, but there's no way that you can have a partner and you could be dating someone and that person does not tell you congratulations when it comes to, an achievement in your brand, your show, whatever it is. There's no way. But yes, it happens. People are jealous, and it doesn't have to be a friend. It doesn't have to be a family member. It could actually be your mate, and that we all want to be with someone that's going to support us. But, just being honest, that is not always the case. It's not. And it's not something that I didn't know, but it is something that I'm not going to tolerate. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't tolerate that. So if you are with someone that is not aligned with your purpose, or even if you're with someone that is not supporting what you are doing, as far as your brand, it doesn't matter for your job. It doesn't matter what it is. If they're not supporting you, they're not your person. Okay? They're not your person. And so that's God's way of showing you that they're not your person. That's his way of letting you know, okay, leave this person alone. And then if you don't do it, he will somehow, some way, he will remove that person from your life himself. So if you don't do it, he will. Don't hang on to anyone because of the time spent. Don't do it. I'm telling you what I know. Happy Wednesday. Not gonna smack in your ear. I'm getting ready to have breakfast. Have a blessed day.